Evening, everyone. I'm Michael. Welcome to this evening's meditation practice. Anybody here for the first time? Okie dokie. If you haven't already, please remember to silence your cell phones and put them away so you can be fully attent and present for the talk and meditation. If you must use your phone, please do so outside the meditation hall. We invite you to join us for our weekly Tuesday events with Medicine Buddha practice at 6 p.m. and the public talk at 7 p.m. Next week for our Tuesday evening talk, Geshe Phende will continue speaking on the 37 practices of a bodhisattva. Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m., the Drepung Loseling monks conduct evening prayers for His Holiness the Dalai Lama's long life and for other teachers. On Thursdays at 4:30 p.m., the Loseling monks conduct the Protector Puja for smooth journeys, successive interviews, medical treatments, new business, etc. We're very excited to announce that Simon & Schuster has released Engage Compassion, 7 Practices to Cultivate Resilience, Connection, and a Joyous Life by our founder and spiritual director, Geshe Lobsang Tenzin Negi. Books are available in our gift shop and from your favorite bookseller. Geshe Phende will lead Drepung Loseling Monastery's annual Yongye retreat from May 29th through June 1st. Yongye is a powerful practice for the purification and accumulation of positive energy based on Avalokitesvara, the Buddha of compassion. Open only to those who have received the 1,000-arm Avalokitesvara empowerment or any highest Yoga Tantra empowerment. As part of Sakadawa, Geshe Ngawang Phende will also give one-day Mahayana precepts on Sunday, May 31st that entails maintaining 8 vows beginning from 5 a.m. until sunrise the next morning. This event is open to any who have taken refuge and will last approximately 1 hour. You do not need to attend the Yongye retreat to participate. As a reminder, in particular on the weekends, just do not park on the grass outside and please use the or behind the building. If the lot's full, overflow parking can be found via Skyland Drive at the John Lewis Elementary School outside of school operating hours. Only access the school parking via Skyland Drive and walk down to the back of the building or the front. Information on all events can be found in the lobby and on our website at drepung.org. If you're interested in becoming a member to support our ongoing programs and take advantage of benefits like discounts on courses and retreats, applications are available in the library. You can also register online. There's a donation box near the entrance to this room. Your generous support helps us to continue to offer programs and services like this to our Atlanta community and to those around the world through our online platforms. Now, if you would, please stand as we invite our resident teacher, Geshe Phende, to come in for this evening's practice.
Okay, now first we're going to recite the mantra of Heart Sutra. Tayata gati gati paragati parasanga Bodhisoha Dayata Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati 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 Bodhisoha. Now next is the prayer called the Four Immeasurables. So during reciting these prayer, it's very important to meditate behind the meaning of the prayer, which mainly means when we say, may all beings have happiness, right? That means you sincerely, you have to feel it. You really wish every beings, right, including the people you don't like them, so you wish them to have happiness. Right? That's called love. So then compassion, joyfulness, equanimity. So we're going to recite this prayer 3 times with meditation on Four Immeasurables. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. Now next is the mandala offering. So reciting these prayer, when we recite this prayer, it is good to set up the good intention, right? One of the best intention, which is called bodhicitta, right? The awakening mind, means oneself first sincerely feel compassion to entire beings, right? When you say feel compassion, which means you wish every beings be free from suffering and causes of suffering. And then I will going to help them, not just only wish. So you take a sense of self-responsibility and you determining yourself, I will definitely going to help them. So in order to help them, today in my situation, of course I cannot able to help to others. That is why I need to achieve enlightenment, Buddhahood, right? So if you achieve enlightenment, Buddhahood, then you can able to help others. Through that reason, you generating strong desire, wish to achieve enlightenment, Buddhahood oneself, for sake of all beings. That's called bodhicitta in the Sanskrit word. Bodhi means awakening, enlightenment. Citta means mind. So the mind of awakening or the mind of enlightenment. So that is why I'm going to learn, right? I'm going to learn the Buddha's teaching to how should oneself to achieve enlightenment for sake of others. Through that reason, I'm going to learn this Buddha's teaching. Therefore, I offer universe to the teacher and request him to please teach me the Dharma. So that's the mandala offering. Oi sai shi pi ji choi shi ai me ai to tama ri ra ba li shi ni ai de ai je pa ti Sanje Shinto Me Te Pyo Waye Doi Kyo Nama Dai Shila Che Pa Sho Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kamniryataya Me. So today actually this is the month which in Tibetan belief it's called sacred, holy month, because this is the month where Buddha himself, his birthday in this month. After practice, he achieved enlightenment in this month. Finally, Parinirvana day is also in this month. So this is kind of the very special month. Therefore, when we have this important month, we always try to accumulate merits, right? Accumulate merit, which means every day you use this month as some kind of the merit, which means to benefit to others, at least don't harm to any beings, including animals, including that little creatures around there. So try to avoid harming to any other beings. Because the special month when you accumulate merits, the merits will transform into what you call, it's multiplying. Right? One merit can transform into the millions. So same, you accumulate bad karma, right? Negative karma. Same, it also accumulates, millions of the negative karmas. So that's why it's important to try to avoid any negative behaves or negative deeds called the karma. So the text which we are still learning, they're called the 37 Practices of Bodhisattvas by Geshe Togme Zangpo. So Geshe Togme Zangpo, most of you know, one of the great practitioners around 13th century. Not just only practitioner, is also very, very scholar, a psychologist, philosopher. So it's a very high kind of educated person with a great practitioner. So he wrote this text, 37 Practices of Bodhisattva, which mainly the subject, the main, message is all the suffering which we experiencing, right, are caused by your selfish mind. It's called the self-centered attitude. And there is another mind which called mind of self-grasping. So that part is a little bit tough to understand. But here, self-centered, selfish mind. So this is one of the main causes of our suffering. Self-centered attitude is the one who creates attachment, anger, jealousy, arrogance, all the different aspects of the negative thoughts and emotions, right, which we have, is caused by, one of the causes is self-centered attitude. So that first, very important to understand. That's why I say study Buddhist psychology. That's mean. So when you study the psychology, then you will understand each of these destructive emotions, right? Where they're coming from. What are the result of this destructive emotion? What is functioning? How each of these destructive emotions creates suffering? Today, in the modern education, majority people, even really from the modern perspective, they may be a very highly educated person. They may don't understanding your anger, your jealousy, your arrogance, right? Your attachment are the causes of your suffering. Maybe they do not know these things. Majority people in this planet, they don't know your destructive emotions are the causes of your suffering. That is why in the majority people in this planet, they have no interest to change their destructive emotion, right? They never put effort how to stop my anger, how to stop my attachment. They never put this effort. Why? They do not have desire. They have no desire to change, to reduce their own destructive emotion. Why they do not have desire? Because they don't know your destructive emotions are the causes of your suffering. That is why, if they really knows my anger, my selfish is the causes of my suffering, then of course they put effort to stop these things, right? They never ever going to use it. They try to avoid this destructive emotion, try to reduce them, right? The people we knows these poisons hurts you, right? Harms you. That is why they never ever try to take the poisons, right? They try to get rid of the poisons because they know these poisons will kill you. These poisons will hurt you, create you suffering. So that's similarly, if you're really understanding your mental afflictions, your destructive emotions are the main causes of your suffering, then you're really, really going to put effort to stop this destructive emotion. So that is why today majority people who do not know about disadvantages of their own destructive emotion, that is why they never ever try to stop this destructive emotion. Therefore, our destructive emotions are growing. External materials are growing, right? Similarly, same, our internal, our attachment, greed, arrogance, anger, selfish, these destructive emotions are also growing. Because of that reason, we have also stress, depressions, anxiety, fear, worry, right? All these mental issues, mental problem is also growing, right? Day by day. Maybe 50 years before, maybe we never hear about this, too much about this depression or something. Now today, everywhere, right? Even younger generation now have these mental issues. They have to take medication for these mental problems. So it's growing same time. So why is growing? Right? Why these mental issues growing? Our facilities getting much better, technology is getting much better, right? Everything's external, things getting better and better compared with 50, 60 years. Today, the food, your facilities, way of life, physical external is much nicer, much better, right? Human problems should be less and less. But it is not. Same time we have more problems, right? Our pain, sufferings are increasing. So why this is? Because these mental afflictions, too much anger, too much attachment, too much greed, arrogance, too much selfish. So having this too much destructive emotion, even external condition, even like a little condition, can easily affect you, disturbs your mind, because destructive emotion is there. So external condition, when they arises, easily these internal causes, destructive emotions are wake up, they're active. When these become active, what they're going to do? Your destructive emotion will hurt you, harms you, right? That's the first result of the destructive emotion. As soon as when you feel angry, at that moment, when you feel angry, instantly it hurts, right? It disturbs your mind. It creates your pain in your mind. So that's because of your anger. So when your mind has become fragile, fragile means your destructive emotions become stronger and stronger. So when your destructive emotions become stronger, your main mind is getting weaker and weaker. So then external, even little things can easily, hurts you. Even somebody just tell you stupid, just that word really hurts you, right? When the person has too much anger, too much selfish, just even one harsh word can easily create your pain. So if you do not have that much anger, if you do not have that much self-centered, right? Even that person say stupid again and again, not that much hurts you. So how much it hurts you depends on how much anger, how much destructive emotion arises. It's not about how bad words they use it. So we're always thinking about the external condition, how to fix that, right? We are never ever looking solution. It's internal causes. How can we deal with that inner causes? So you are not trying to fix the internal causes, only the external condition. You put effort to try to change, try to make, new rules about this or that to make sure everything's clean. But external condition is very difficult to fix everything perfect. It's difficult. It's out of your control, right? That's anybody can do, anybody can say things. So how can you control that? Like, for instance, living in Atlanta, right? During the rush hour time, they're all stuck into the traffics, right? So how can you fix the traffic? Right? It's hard. Everybody wants to go fast. So the road is limited, right? This problem will increase more and more because more people will buy the more car, right? That's how it is. And the city is growing more, it's become that way. So now, because of the traffic, stress, right? Because of the traffic, depression, anxiety. So now this suffering, okay, how can you fix now? Go out there to fix the traffic, you cannot do it, right? It's how it is. So, understanding this stress is not only from the traffic. Of course, traffic is the condition, right? Also, some kind of mind I have there, certain type of emotion there. These emotions create us stress, right? Angry sometimes, feel not happy. For instance, if you have some kind of party, right? Or maybe something, big things going on in your home. So you have to be there 6 o'clock. Now you're stuck into the traffic. It's 6 o'clock, it's very soon. Now you're very close to 6 o'clock. How much you have feel panic, angry, right? Why? We think traffic. But usually not that much. Today so much you have problem because of your expectation. You expect you should be there at 6 o'clock, right? Now you are not there 6 o'clock. So that's why it hurts you much worse, makes you more angry, more suffering. Why? Because of you have high expectation. So if you change this expectation, oh, now it's late, doesn't matter, it's late now. Accept it. When you control your expectation, control that lower expectation, really the pain you have stuck into the traffic definitely change, right? I always use example. When you travel with your own pets, both of you stuck into the traffic, human beings suffering, shouting, screaming, those pets is enjoying there, right? Those pets are still stuck into the traffic, they're not suffering. Human beings the one who suffer now. If traffic is only the causes of suffering, then everybody who's stuck into the traffic should have same suffering. but it is not. That means that pain is not only from there, it's something wrong in your mind. And that emotion, you can change it. It's changeable. Every being has equal potential to change your emotion, right? Your own destructive emotion. From the Buddhist perspective, from the Buddhist belief, every being has Buddha nature, right? We say, doesn't matter, believer, non-believer, doesn't matter. Every being has Buddha nature. What that mean? Each of all of them has potential to overcome their destructive emotion, to control their destructive emotion, to eliminate these destructive emotions, right? So point is, the major our problem coming from our own destructive emotions. That's why they investigate in the past. Buddha himself, with all these scholars, spent so much time to research about the human emotion, destructive emotion, where they're coming from, how much it creates suffering, all this detailed information, right? That's how they study this. And they bring the information how to control these destructive emotions. That's why this book is one of that, right? It's mainly, this book is focused on how to control your self-centered attitude, mainly self-grasping. Then, upon there, attachment, anger, jealousy, all of these rest of the destructive emotions. So therefore, first, the person who study in these, goal is these books are we learning, we study to understand something which is maybe in the modern education have no information about this. Right? Otherwise, everything in today modern education, then there's no point to go to the temple to learn. Right? Everything isn't there. So, in the ancient knowledge, modern education, there's few differences there. So these ancient knowledge are very much focused on mind. They really focused to take care of the mind. Mind and physical things, external things, the mind is they see more important than external things. When the mind is collapsed, something going wrong, everything will be going wrong. Right? That is why these knowledge are focused on mind. So here we're learning now, first understanding my self-centered, my anger, my attachment are the one who create me. All those fear I have, all this worry, right? All this kind of stress, anxiety, depression, loneliness. So all the major mental suffering you've been experiencing because of each of these destructive emotion, right? Then upon their external conditions, right? The two things there. For instance, if you're so attached to your physical appearance, instead for face, if you're so attached to your face, then slowly, maybe they start the wrinkle, right? Eventually everybody will get that. So wrinkle, or maybe colors changing, or some kind of spot, things comes up and from your, face. How much they're concerned, how much they worry, right? Some people so much worry about just for their skin. So when the skin change and they really feel fear, worry constantly. So that pain external causes is skin, right? That's the condition. Main causes is attachment. You're so attached to that. That's why, right? So there are the people have lots of damage to their skin, but they don't have that much worries, right? Some people, little damage, so much worry, sometimes cannot sleep well. Worry, they started like that. So all of these coming from our mind, mental things. So therefore, understanding most of your pain, your sufferings, creates by your own destructive emotion, then you have some kind of different idea. Before, happiness means money, power, or some kind of materialistic, right? Good job, money, nice house, nice car, nice dress, nice this. That's their dream, right? That's how they think. Now slowly understanding the mind is, not only these things, also here I have to take care of my mind. Because otherwise that mind is something going wrong. These external things will be nothing then, right? When your mind is go wrong, these external things will not that much helps you. So through understanding on this value of your mind, then you slowly feel cherished, taking care to one's mind. And also when you struggle, for instance, when you ended up with like so much fear or depression, you don't feel hopeless. You're always thinking, yes, I feel this mental issue right now, but I can change this. It's one cause is my mind. Too much. I may have too much anger. I may have too much attached. I may have too much selfish, too much ego. So this emotion now disturbing me, create me this problem. So I can change my anger. I can change. So it always gives you hope. Right? Having hope is very important. When you kind of ended up with something struggle, if you feel hopeless, then suffering will getting worse and worse. It's getting much deeper, makes you more fear. So when you always have hope gives you some kind of inner strength. It holds you inner power, inner strength. You always have hope there. So you always put effort there. You never give up. When you feel hopeless, then you give up. Everything give up. Then it's getting worse and worse. Right? It never fixes. It's getting worse. So this feeling hope or losing your hope is not only because of external how bad it is, it's also the mental things. So understanding these psychologies, the mental afflictions are the causes of suffering, will tremendously helps you to keep your hope always. Even how much difficult life you ended up, it never ever creates you feel hopeless, or you never ever ended up with a give up. You never give up. You're always holding to. So that is why studying on this psychology, solving the problem through your mind, not only external materialistic, right? That's important. So now here stanza, today we are stanza 15th. Drepung dübe yusu gashiki tsangni tuishi tsingye menayang tela kiwe shiki tuishi gubar duba Geshe Loseling is. Stanza means the 15th, the practice 15. Though someone may deride and speak bad words about you in a public gathering, looking on him as a spiritual teacher, bow to him with respect. This is the practice of bodhisattvas. So now ordinary people, when you say these things, they think you are crazy, right? Someone, speak very bad about you front of publicly, right? Front of those public. And here it is saying, looking this guy who say bad things to you front of all the people, you say, you look him as a spiritual teacher to this guy and bow to him with respect. You should show more respect to this guy. So who will going to do this, right? It's ordinary people, this is impossible, right? But for the bodhisattvas, this is the practice of bodhisattva. Bodhisattvas, those beings live with this practice. They're doing this. This is part of their practice, right? So as ordinary people, we cannot do it, but we feel appreciate or feel respect to those people, the bodhisattva, who can able to apply this practice. So that kind of knowledge, that power they have, that means these people are completely free from this self-centered. They do not. So Bodhisattva was able to do why we cannot, because we have too much selfish. Our self-centered attitudes are very strong. So these self-centered attitudes creates attach to one's own reputation, fame. Because of that attachment, create us anger when somebody say bad things to you, right, in front of the older people, makes you so much angry. Why you feel so much angry? Because of you have so much attached to your reputation. That's why, right? And that anger, what they're going to do is nothing to change there. That anger will hurt you, right? It creates you pain. You suffer. So sometime living in the society, of course, we have to go with the society. We cannot, live like a rural, like a wild animals, right? You live in the society, you have to work, you have to study, so you have to go. In the society, there are variety people around there. Some people have they have too much anger, or they have too much jealousy, right? Variety people. So those people can say good things to you, can say bad things to you, depend on what kind of mind they have. It's not themselves, it's their mind, right? When that person become angry, he or she says something bad things. When that person becomes really love to you, he or she says something good things to you. So that action is coming from their emotion, right? It's the main causes is their emotion. So their emotion, sometimes they cannot control themselves. Anger is too much powerful. So they have no experience on dealing with their emotion, which means they never meditate, right? So the person who never meditate, how can control their emotion? It's very difficult. So each of these destructive emotions become so powerful. So when they arises, the person cannot control it. So every decision, every action is coming from their emotion. So when they become angry, they say bad things to you. Doesn't matter how many people's around there, they can say bad things, right? After they say bad things to you, when you feel so much angry, and that anger straight directly hurts to your heart, then you feel either depression. Some people ended up with the depressions, right? Some people so much angry, so much pain inside there. So it's been like 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, weeks, months. So whenever they go to the society, they feel fear to go out because of those pain comes, right? Then you cannot stop him to stay in the home. You need to work or you need to study. You have to go out. Now how can we control this? Right? Sometimes it's very difficult. So here it is saying, best thing is, though someone may deride and speak bad words, right? Deride means like a insult you, right? Somebody or someone expose your faults in front of all the people. So may deride and speak bad words about you in the public gathering. So your choice is, you feel angry, you choose anger, or you choose respect attitude. It's in your hand. If you choose anger, result, you suffer, right? You will be suffer. If you choose respect attitude, love, or compassion to these people, result makes you happy, right? Result, you remain calm and happy. So if you are intelligent person, then you will never choose anger, negative side. Will choose love and compassion, right? Respect attitude. That's bodhisattvas. So bodhisattvas, those practitioners, very smart, really understanding psychology, how the emotion, the minds work, right? How it's work. So therefore, knowing to oneself what is the benefit to you is, if I choose love and compassion, huge benefit to you. If you choose anger, hatred, result, you will lose, you will suffer. That is why they give up anger and hatred. They choose respect, love and compassion to them. So ordinary people, very difficult to choose that, because we never ever, try or exercise to how to control our anger. So the person who have no experience, right, to control your anger and your destructive emotion, at the moment when you're in that situation, very difficult, right, to get rid of anger, very difficult. Those bodhisattvas spend their whole life is practice of love. They live with the love and compassion 24 hours, every day. So who are experiencing on this, like what we call, they remain love and compassion always, every time, for them, they can do that. They can change that. So these practices are not talking about something impossible things. These are possible. So that's why first we learn it is possible. There are the people who are doing these practice. That's why for the ordinary people like us, in order to apply this practice, first we need somebody like our inspiration, role model, who can show example that help us to encourage us to practice this. That's why we recite these stanzas and apply to those bodhisattvas and feel tremendous rejoice towards them through understanding. That helps to you to encourage yourself. I really want to do that, right? Like for instance, like what you call basketball player, like one of the what you call the famous player, celebrity, or what you call celebrity, right? Yeah, these professional players. So those players, they can put the ball into this way, that way, all kinds of things they do. So the first player, for them, looks like this is impossible. How can do this ball, these things, right? For them, impossible. But there are other people who do this. They play with the ball, can put it this way. They're looking these people, watching, right? They're keeping their pictures, right? Their photos in their bedroom. They're learning. So every moment, these people are in what you call the role model for them, right? So that's how they feel encouraging. And that's why they follow. Eventually, that person become a professional player, right? Slowly take a time, years and years, put effort. Finally, he or she becomes same like that professional. So you need that. Therefore, these bodhisattvas, even at the moment, this stanza 15, we cannot do it, but we read this and apply to those practitioners who can able to do this practice. You appreciate, you're looking them as your role model. That's why as a Buddhist, we take refuge to the Sangha, right? Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Sangha means those people, Arya Bodhisattvas, who are not fully complete achieved Buddhahood, but they are on the way there. These are the people, we take refuge to them as a inspiration, right? They are like our Dharma friend. They can inspire us in the spiritual life, right? Another word, like a simple word, they inspire us to become a good human beings, right? So to becoming good human beings, you need somebody can inspire you, guides you. That's what we needed. So similarly, bodhisattvas, you should look from that perspective, and then yourself always first learn. Small things you need to do, right? Small things. First, you can take somebody, maybe say something, little things like bad things, not huge, big. Little bad things tell you, you just, okay, he said this, I feel not happy to them, right? So I need to work with this. So how can I do this practice? So first thing is, who hurts me? He says something bad things, little bad things quietly to me. As soon as I hear, I feel some kind of pain. I don't like it, right? So why you don't like it? Why the pain coming from? Where they coming from? Because of my ego. It hurts to my ego. My ego, because I've attached to my appearance, my name, my reputation. These attachment creates me angry when they put something, bad things tell me. So who really hurting you? My anger, my attachments are the one. My egos are the one. So I realizing my ego is the one creating this suffering. So therefore, I really look this guy who said these bad things, I look from different angle. Because of him, I now recognizing my ego is the one who create me suffering. I realizing I have how much ego. I'm realizing how much I have attachments. When the condition not arises, these ego and attachments are there. They just sleep. It's not wake up. So because of those people say, then they wake up. Then you're diagnosed. You're recognizing you have these things. Without them, you may not recognize this. And these poison minds are constantly destroying you, suffer you. So today I'm realizing because of those people, that is why I respect to them, right? Reason that. So why here Bodhisattva was saying, bow to him with respect, right? Looking on him as a spiritual teacher. Spiritual teacher, why? Because of that guy, I realizing, I understand my ego, my arrogance are the one who create me pain. I understanding I have these egos and arrogance. Sometimes we're thinking, oh, I don't have any ego. I'm always be polite. I always be respect to the people that we think. Because when your mind is not active, it just sit there. Condition not arising, looks like it is not there. But it is there. It's sleep there, right? It's just sleep. So you need somebody to wake up that. Then you're seeing, oh, it is there. So who do this? Those bad people. Good people never helps these things. Right? Just say, oh, you are good, you are good. Maybe it can grow more ego, more arrogance. Right? It can go that way. Sometimes people, too much praising. And after too much praise, that person becomes spoiled. That sometimes there's some parents, when they do not know how to take care of their children, they just praise them, spoil them, and eventually their mind is so used to with this arrogance, ego, attachment, all kind of things. Then little things that comes, very difficult for those children. Deal with very difficult because the egos become too strong. So who will help? Those troublemakers. So bad things they tell you, then your ego really become active now. Oh, now you're realizing, oh, I have ego, right? So then these, who did that? These bad peoples. So that's why seeing those bad people as your spiritual teacher, right? Spiritual teacher means these people who helps you to control your destructive emotion, to help you to recognizing you have this problem now, right? So that therefore here it's saying, looking on him as a spiritual teacher, bow to him with respect. This is the practice of Bodhisattva. So you look from this angle, you look from that angle. The person who says something bad words in front of public gathering. So now, which way you take it? Ordinary people, we always take negative sides. We feel angry, we feel, we fight back, we say bad things to them. It's getting worse and worse, right? He says something, you are bad in front of the people, you become very angry, then you show it. Because you say very bad things. When you act violent, that's called the bad. What he say, you did it. That means you accept, I'm a bad, right? But the other side, the Bodhisattva side, when they say the bad things to you, you bow them, seeing them as a spiritual teacher, right? You pay respect and bow to this guy. What reality is, what he say is showing you are not that bad guy. You answer it actually, right? In front of the people, when somebody say bad things to you, the guy who sincerely respect and bow to this guy, rest of the people, what they see, they can say, oh, he's not bad, he's very good. See how respect. So what he say, he don't need to give the answer. He show from his action, respect and bow, he got that answer. Everybody knows, oh, he's not bad, he's a very good guy. So what you say is not who he is. You are the one mistake. That's how they see, right? So somebody say bad things to you in front of the people, you say bad things to them, you arguing, you show all the violence, that means what he say and you did that. Means you accept it, I'm the bad person, right? So that's why these bodhisattvas are very, very smart. Because when the person say you are the bad, you do not want to show yourself as a bad, right? You have to prove you are not bad guy, I'm the good guy. So the bodhisattvas, they prove that. So they respect, bow, praise to him. Thank you to say these things. So when he showed that action, that bodhisattva showed real answer. What you say bad, I'm not the bad, right? That's how they show it. So therefore, some people may thinking, or somebody say bad things to you, if you don't reply bad things towards them, that means you are the loser. That's the majority of people sometimes think that way. Oh, you have to knock it back. You have to say bad things to them. Then they think you are victory. You win. Actually not. You lose. You do not want to be a bad person to show to the people. You do not want to show bad person, right, to the front of the people. So if your reaction is violent, that means you show them, I'm the bad guy already. So when your reaction is very polite, respect and bowing, that means you really give perfect answer. You victory, you win. What he accused, right? You show I'm not that. And not only you, all the other people see that way. So actually, you are the one who really win victory. But the other people may sometimes, we don't see that way. So therefore, here, this practice number 15 is not showing you are weak. It's not showing you are weak. It means you are very strong. You perfectly give the perfect answer. He wants you to be suffer. He wants you to show bad person in front of all the people. You not suffer, you pay respect, bowing, sincerely appreciate, that showing not feel suffering. And your answer back to him is respect and bowing, that you give proper answer. I am not a bad person. So your answer is the perfect, right, victory. Your victory from that. So that's the Bodhisattva's practice, a smart way to deal with these problems. So therefore, these sometime, in the public or in the area, somebody say one or two bad things, you think I have to be replied to bad things, then that you are the smart or something. Actually, it is not. It makes you, at the moment, you suffer. Then go back to the home, you're holding this pain constantly, right? Remain suffering. Then your reaction, a violent reaction, also damage your reputation, your fame, right? Everything. So you lose everything. So therefore, apply the practice. This stanzas 15 is called transforming criticism into the path. So transforming criticism into the path of happiness, the path of enlightenment. So it's supposed to be very negative, criticizing you, or what you call, try to put you down, or all kinds of things, but you take these advantages to grow more love, more compassion, more respect to that person. So you use this unfortunate situation into the fortunate, right? path to the enlightenment, the path to the happiness. So that's called the mind training, which is transforming criticism into the path, or patience in the face of criticism, right? You show your patience. So these practices are very powerful, but it's not easy. So first we need to learn that, hear this, right? Again you think. Then slowly you try to apply for one little issue. Then slowly, bigger, eventually huge, big issues. You can able to apply this practice. So when you're able to do that, it's huge differences. It really changes your life, really. So when you have that type of patience, when you're able to utilize, rest of the other people will sincerely pay respect to you. In your work, in your office, when you work, 20 people working, one guy saying, criticizing in front of all these things. When you're really able to show this type of the practice, able to utilize, rest of all the people can really feel tremendous respect to you. When they feel respect, then they trust you. Right? When they trust you, your relationship with them becomes very good. Relationship is based on trust. Right? So when you have that kind of quality, the mental quality, when the people see that quality, they really trust, they really respect. And that will bring harmony, right? And that will create your fame, your reputation, everything. Everybody will praise, oh, this is great person. Yes, lots of patience they have. So your fame can increase, your reputation, your relationship, everything increase after that. Huge benefit. Now other side, you're angry, you're shouting them, say bad things, you suffer, right? Rest of the other people may be really shocked. They can also feel scared to you, right? When you behave like that, it's damage your reputation, your fame, your dignities, your relationship. Then upon there, yourself, too much pain, too much angry, too much suffering. Right? So you lose everything. So therefore, this, stanza 15, though someone may deride and speak bad words about you in a public gathering, looking on him as a spiritual teacher, bow to him with respect. This is the practice of bodhisattvas. Right? So write these line, stanza, keep it, and sometimes put it in front of your desk and read these things. Somebody, when they done something like exactly same thing, even you're angry, you're not happy, just read these things. Your minds change a little bit. Just read these things and think about that. Will slowly helps you to cool down. So victory, finally, how can you win? When you really feel sincerely respect and compassion to this guy, you win. You are victory. You are no more victim of those pain. You don't have that pain, right? When you're able to apply this. So that's why these practices are really powerful. If the people who do not know this thing, for them, think you are loser, you are very weak. If you not reply bad things, think, oh, you are loser. But when you're really understanding psychology, when you look like a much deeper level, look from all the different aspects, then apply this practice that is so powerful, you are really victory. Huge advantages, huge benefit after that. So that's how this practice is very, very important. For the Bodhisattva, these are practices are because of to protect your love and compassion to others, right? These kind of patience, when you're able to do, it's protect your love, your compassion. So that's why all these different type of the mind training they're doing, it helps to protect your love and compassion. When your love and compassion protected, your bodhicitta will protect, right? Remain stronger, stronger. From the Buddhist perspective, your bodhicitta and compassion stronger, stronger, that means you are getting closer, closer to the enlightenment, Buddhahood. Therefore, these practice are the part of the Lam Rim, the stages of the path to enlightenment. Okay, so we're going to stop here now. So, conclusion here, we first recite the mantra of compassion. So during recitation of this mantra, I mentioned earlier, today is a Sakadawa, this whole month is Sakadawa, so try to meditate the compassion to every beings, entire beings in this planet, right? Suffering, they all have problem, physical, mental, emotional. Number of those suffering, we don't see them. They're hiding internal emotion pains. So through understanding of other suffering, you wish every beings be free from suffering, be free from causes of sufferings, which are the destructive emotion, the anger, selfish, right? All this destructive emotion. So you generate that, you really feel it to every beings free from suffering and causes of suffering, with feeling of that compassion, and recite the mantra, right? That's really powerful. Okay, we're going to recite the mantra. Om mani padme hoi, 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 Om mani padme hoi. And thus, Honorable Compassionate Gurus, we seek your blessings that all karmic debts, obstacles, and sufferings of mother beings may without exception ripen upon us right now, and that we may give our happiness and virtues to others, and thereby invest all beings in bliss. And thus, Honorable Compassionate Gurus, we seek your blessings that all karmic debts, obstacles, and sufferings of mother beings may without exception ripen upon us right now, and that we may give our happiness and virtues to others, and thereby invest all beings in bliss. Oi te nai ji tu lai mai tu ji ji mai ju tu ve ti tu nge ma lui da lai mi pa da ki de Geshe joy in de ta de embarachi lo joy de ta de ba Chanjo simjo rinpoche mache pa nam ki chuji teba nyamba me pa yang kone kondu pewa show. May the precious and sublime bodhicitta not yet born be born, and that which has been born not decline, but increase forever. Okay, thank you.